Joining me now is Jarome Bell. He's a retired chief. Hey, Jarome, great to have you.
Hey, good morning, John. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. So tell me about your race. Why are you in it, and why do you think you're a better candidate than Scott Taylor or Ben Loyola?
Well, I'm in it because I don't like the way the direction of the country is going, especially concerning our veterans. And I think Virginia should elect me to the House of Representatives first because I'm not a politician. All right. People are beginning to understand that they don't like politicians too much. They don't like Democrat politicians. They don't like establishment GOP because they understand that both of them are pretty dangerous to us common folk. And so people, like I believe we need less career politicians in Congress, and we need more real warriors and people that are going to fight for the common people, for the people. And I'm an outsider, and I'm a fighter like Donald Trump was. So, and I think my policies are pretty solid as well.
Okay, well, give me an example of what some of your policies are.
Okay, well, I'm a build a wall guy. I'm calling for a moratorium on immigration. Actually, I was one of the first people to call for that publicly, a moratorium on immigration, even before President Trump came out last week with his EO, because one of the problems that we have here is not just illegal immigration in Southern America, but it's the legal immigration through the cheap labor visa programs. There's certain America, the H-1B visas, the H-2, the H-4 EAD, the OPT especially, because there's no cap on that, and that's even hurting our STEM programs with women and our college graduates that's trying to get jobs. Corporations using those programs and filling the American worker jobs and replacing American worker jobs with cheap foreign labor. So that's one of the main things. And I'm also a big supporter of the Second Amendment. Everyone should know and around here knows that I'm a fighter for the Second Amendment. I don't believe in any type of gun control because the first gun laws and gun control laws were against black men, free black men, right after the establishment of the 13th Amendment, freeing black slaves. And so I go back to history and understand where the first gun control laws came in. And these red flag laws and these draconian laws that's coming down from our blackface governor right now is nothing more than just black codes relived again.
Let's get to the governor, and then we'll get to a couple other issues. He extended the basically non-essential business, whatever he claims is not essential business, lockdown for another week. Went from May 8th to May 15th. Probably another 1,000 businesses in Virginia had to claim bankruptcy over that week. Do you favor that?
No, I'm definitely not in favor of that. I'm actually for reopening Virginia. We did a rally down in Virginia Beach this past weekend to reopen Virginia, especially this area. I was up in Richmond for the lockdown in Richmond to reopen Virginia. So no, I'm definitely against the government policies, especially when you look at the numbers of the COVID cases, the COVID deaths, and the people versus the people that's been affected by this ill-advised lockdown. But it's not warranted, and I don't think that we should actually be past this. We should reopen up and let people get back to work and get on with their lives and try to save what they can of their businesses and their livelihood because people are suffering right now.
You would be in favor of opening all businesses up in Virginia now?
Yeah, I actually would because people are smart. All right, and I don't think this governor give people enough credit on how to protect themselves. I mean, when you look at people with immune deficiency problems, they've known how to protect themselves all along because they have to protect themselves, since they developed immune deficiency, and they understand that if they have to wear a face mask or where they have to wear a face mask at, you don't quarantine healthy people. The last time I checked, you quarantine sick people. And so, no, I'm definitely in fact of opening up all businesses. And if people feel the need that they need to protect themselves, then those people will, and if the businesses feel that they need to social distance their tables, and things like that, and then do so. I mean, because Walmart is open, Home Depot is jam-packed almost every day, every weekend. I go to, Home Depot and it's packed. So if we can go to Home Depot and we can go to Walmart, I think we can go to these restaurants and have the same effect.
All right, so you're basically for opening up Virginia, kind of like what Brian Kemp did in Georgia, the governor there, and letting business owners, people, consumers, residents decide what level of risk they want to take or whether they want to go in or not or where they should sit or whether they should. You want to leave it up to the individuals to figure it out, right?
Right. I want to leave it up to the individual because that's what you do in a free society. That's what freedom means. And so, yeah, you definitely leave it up to the individuals. I like what the governor of South Dakota did. She didn't close down at all. She understood people's constitutional rights and did not want to violate that. And so she left it up to the people, and she put procedures in place, like in the plants and stuff like that, to where, there was social distancing when people required it, when people wanted it. And so I thought that was a better plan than what's going on here in Virginia.
John Fredericks Radio Network live in Mississippi and the Delta, part of our Godzilla Open America Tour. We're with Jarome Bell. Jarome's running for Congress, 2nd District in Virginia, Republican primary, June 23rd. 3 candidates, Bell, Scott Taylor, former incumbent there, and Ben Loyola ran for state senate, a couple other offices. So let me ask you this, Jarome. Let's get to China. If you're in Congress, would you be in favor of holding the Chinese Communist Party accountable for what they've brought here on the United States?
I would definitely be in favor of holding them accountable because from all the reports and all the investigations that's now going on. And also even before that, there were rumors that it came out of the lab in Wuhan, and they understood it and they know it happened, and they didn't announce it to the world. They didn't tell the world what was going on, and they let it come. And they let it come out of there. So yeah, I would definitely hold China accountable in some ways.
Would you be in favor if you were in Congress of stripping China of their sovereign immunity?
Their sovereign immunity. I think countries are sovereign within themselves. If that was something that the president thought would be good to do, then I may be for that, of course. But I would, put some trade restrictions, regulations on. But I would make them suffer in some ways that they would understand that we were very upset with what they did. Yes.
You're running against 2 candidates. You're third right now in this race. Money raised, you're distant third to Ben Loyola and Scott Taylor. Taylor's a favorite. Why should people vote for Jarome Bell instead of Scott Taylor?
Well, first of all, you mentioned the money, so that's sort of funny. But I'm looking at.
No, it isn't funny. Stop. You're on national radio, okay? You have several $1,000s that you have cash on hand. Elaine Luria has $2.2 million. I mean, you can't sit here and say, I've got $2,000, I'm going to be a viable candidate. So, fine, but it is what it is. So let's talk about why are you a better candidate against Elaine Luria than Scott Taylor? Why should people vote for you instead of Scott Taylor or Ben Loyola?
Okay, first, you didn't ask me about Elaine Luria. You asked me about between myself and Scott Taylor. And yet, I actually have more money on hand right now than Scott Taylor if you look at the current FEC reports. But, okay, besides that, though, I think I'm more of a fighter than Ben Loyola. I don't think he's a fighter at all. And loser Scott Taylor, he's already proven that he can't beat Elaine Luria. Okay, he's proven that he had to try to cheat to beat her, and he still didn't beat her. I believe that the people understand that I'm a better candidate because I'm all America first. Okay, I can play in the Democratic ballpark that they can't play in. The Democrats going to have a hard time trying to play the same tactic games, the racist games, the white nationalist games, the white supremacy games, playing the race card, at their whim, against me like they can with any other GOP candidate. So I can actually go down and talk to the same people that Elaine Luria speaks to because there are more black conservatives in the area than people really realize. And so I can go down there and I can talk to those same people, in the democratically strongholds of the 2nd District. And so I'm not establishment. And like I say, I'm an outsider. Okay, I can't be claimed that I'm a Wall Street guy. They can't claim that I'm an old white guy with money that's just going to hold black people down, because and so for them, my policies actually will fix problems as well for the people that they speak about, for those forgotten and taken for granted people. I believe my policies will work better and fix those people's problems better than loser Scott Taylor and Ben Loyola.
Jarome, you mentioned playing the race card. Are you saying this? You think Scott Taylor and Ben Loyola play the race card?
No, it's the Democrats that's going to play the race card on them. That's their playbook. So anytime anytime a Democrat goes up against a GOP establishment person, the first thing they're going to do is play the race card on them. Okay, and unfortunately, people listen to that because it's all linguistic programming. The use of white nationalists, the use of white supremacy. Those are trigger words to get people, angry, to get people, not interested in what the Republican Party is saying, their conservative message. Once you get people angry, they don't even listen to the message. Okay, I can go in and they can't use those same things on me. I can speak the message. I can take the message to the people overall, whether it's up in Precosa, Virginia, or if it's down in Norfolk. I can take that conservative message, and all walks of life will listen to me, where they may not listen to Scott Taylor or Ben Loyola.
Do you think that fact that the Democrats play the race card, do you find that to be, I don't know, despicable?
I do find it to be despicable because being a black man, I've never used race in my life. Okay, really. As far as where I had to go and what I had to be, and so I've always been a conservative as well. Okay, because I understand, John. Let's take it like this. I understand there's a war on conservatism. Okay, and I understand that white conservatives are called racist, and me being a black conservative, well, guess what? I'm called a traitor to my race. Okay, so I understand that we are all in this together. That's a message that neither one of the other candidates can take, to the people. And I understand it's the fault of both parties. The Democrats race bait, and I hate that because it makes it seem like that the only thing that we're able to do is use race to get what we want. And the Democrats, that's their playbook. No, and I don't like when they use it at all.
It's interesting that you say that because on Twitter, Jarome Bell, candidate for Congress, yesterday on a public Twitter feed, you called me a racist. You said racist John Fredericks, and you got a picture of me, so you didn't mix my name up with someone else. It says here, racist John Fredericks, coming from your Twitter feed. So you, who don't want to play the race card and find it despicable, yesterday you called me a racist. I'm not a racist, but you called me a racist. So how do you square that, Jarome?
Okay, Caesar, what happened with you yesterday, John? Okay, you fell for...
Answer the question, Jarome. Answer the question.
Hey, John.
You called me a racist. You called me a racist. Answer the question.
Okay, I'm going to prove to you right now why I called you a racist. Okay, because back in April, okay, when we, first had this program scheduled, you gave me a time slot. Okay, and then the next day you called and changed it. Well, I had already booked, okay, and I've called you numerous times. You said that you would get back with me. I asked you to give me another day. Okay, and I asked you to get back with me. You never did. I had people email you and text you, hey, when are we going to be on? Or when are we going to be on? Okay, and so I played the race card yesterday. Why? Because I wanted to show you, and what happened, okay? You did the same thing the establishment GOP do. You immediately did a backflip to show, hey, I'm not racist. Why? Because I'm on your show now. A month after I.
So if you think I'm a racist, why are you on my show? If you think I'm a racist, dude,
you responded right away.
Why do you think? Why are you on my show?
The exact time slot.
Jarome, you're a candidate for federal office. Jarome, you served in the military. You're a candidate for federal office. You're running for Congress. You're supposed to be a legit candidate. People request time on my show. We can accommodate about 10% of the people that want to come on. We do our best, okay? So we couldn't accommodate you in the time frame that you wanted. We'd have gotten to you eventually, but you called me a racist, and you're not owning up to it. And so I'm not a racist.
No. Hey, John, I'm owning up to it. It's out in public. I got your attention. Finally, right? But why did I have to do that, John? Why did I have to do that?
Well, maybe you would have gotten. Maybe if you picked up the phone. Maybe Jarome, if you picked the phone up and called us, okay? I get 1,000 emails a day.
Do I need?
You know what, Jarome? Look, I get 1,000 emails a day. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't get you on the show in the time frame that you wanted. Look.
We can talk.
I got tremendous. We have so many segments.
We can talk about yesterday.
All right, Jarome.
We can talk about yesterday, or we can continue to talk about the race.
Okay, so now you're on the show. Okay, so tell people why you want to run for Congress. Give them your website. Okay. All I know is, for no reason, you called me a racist. I have a long history in this state. I get everybody. I've had people on my show running for Congress that are going to get 10% all over the country. So this isn't about anything, but I simply didn't have time for you in the frame that you wanted. You know what? The primary is June 23rd. It's May 6th. You got plenty of time to get on a bunch of times, okay? This was your decision, not my decision. Your decision to get on a public format and call somebody with a 10-year history in this state of getting everybody on that ever wants to come on calling me a racist. You own that, dude. I don't own that. So go ahead. Tell us why you want to be in Congress and give your website. Do it.
Thanks, John. And I have owned up to it because it was public. Okay, the website, first of all, is JaromeBellForCongress.com. And you actually spell that JAROMEBELL. Okay? And the reason I want to be in Congress is because I believe I'm the best candidate. I fight for people. I believe that, like I say, I'm an America First candidate. I'm the only America First candidate that's running here in the 2nd District. Other people are for globalism. Other people are for immigration. But I'm going to put America first. I'm an outsider, and I'm going to represent the people to the best of my ability to not succumb to GOP establishment, to not succumb to the democratic rule of law. And my policies are actually going to fix, like I say, problems in the community and not, big government handouts. And I can't be bought and I can't be ran off. I'm a fighter, and just like Trump was. And so I'm really going to fight for the people. And the most, like the important legislative issue, again, is gun control. I'm going to fight for people's Second Amendment rights and everything that we're facing in the district. So that's why I believe I'm the best candidate, and I'm the best candidate to beat Elaine Luria, because I can go to the places and I can play in the same ballpark and speak to the same people that she can play in, that the Democratic Party can play in, and they can't play the race card on me.
Thanks for your time and for being on the show.